Hi everyone, my name is Sid. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the evolution of Bretman rock. He's been an influencer for ages, so I thought it would be worth making a video about. Also, he's more of a light-hearted creator, so this video shouldn't be too serious. So anyways, Bretman was born at a very young age in 1998 in the small Philippines town called Sanchez Mira in the Cagayan province. He was named after his father's WWE idols Bret Hart and The Rock. At the time of his birth, he had an older brother, Edmund Jr., and then a couple of years later, his sister, Princess May, was born. And Bret grew up in a very open and accepting household. One of his earliest memories was bedazzling a toy truck and putting his sister's Barbie behind the wheel. And his parents never cared that he had an interest in more traditionally girly things because they saw a lot of themselves in him.
It's hard to not have confidence when all you were when you were a kid was celebrated.
Bret's charismatic side came from his mum, and he considers the first beauty queen that he knew to be his dad. His dad was super fashionable, he had long hair when Bret was young, and he always just put a lot of effort into his appearance. Bret would sometimes ask his father to put his Barbie's hair up, and he would always be able to put the hair up in a perfect ponytail. And other than his parents and his siblings, he also hung out with his grandma a lot. During one of his many visits to her bedroom to hang out, he asked her to put makeup on him. And so she did, and she became the first person to ever put makeup on him.
My first beauty inspiration would have to be my grandma. She was the only person I ever saw wear makeup. I would always watch her get ready for church. And yeah, I would put on stockings for her. And I still remember all the 3 lipstick shades that she had. She really got me into beauty, and that's when I fell in love with women and vanity and I don't know. I think that's why I love getting ready. It's because I think the whole art of beauty is getting ready and getting beautiful.
She was also the first person who told him that it was okay to be gay. When they were together in a church one day, the priest was preaching about how it wasn't okay to be gay, and then she leaned over to Bret to tell him that the priest doesn't always know what he's talking about. Bret believes that the reason why his dad was so open and accepting was because his grandma was, which was his dad's mother. And then his life started to change when his mum began going to and from America to make more money for them. Because then his mother decided that she would move to Hawaii permanently to stay there and work to make money for them. And she was going to take his sister Princess and his brother with her. At that time, Bret's father stayed behind so he could continue to run the transportation business that he had. And Bret also stayed behind, but not because he wanted to. According to what Bret said in his book, his mother was a little bit concerned that his father would cheat on her while she was away. So she wanted Bret to stay behind to pose as somewhat of an obstacle to any women that may present themselves to his father. But yeah, his mum's ultimate goal was to start a life in America, get a green card, and then bring Bret and her husband, Bret's father, over. And during the time that their family was separated, Bret and his father became even closer than they already were. They became inseparable, and people in the community even started calling Bret his father's junior, even though there was already a junior. And yeah, they would just go on all sorts of adventures together. But that all changed when a maid moved into the house. Basically, there was a shop near to where they lived that usually only hired young women to work there, and Bret's father would always be going there. And then all of a sudden, one of the workers became their maid. And to avoid any dating rumors, Bret's father said that the maid was a lesbian. But any sort of dating speculation between his dad and the maid was the furthest thing from Bret's mind. All he cared about was the fact that his dad stopped hanging out with him as soon as the maid came into the picture. Some people may have been getting suspicious, but Bret was still very oblivious. He would see them kissing and hugging and never thought anything of it. And at the time, he would share a bed with his father, and when the maid came into the picture, she started sleeping in the same bed. And then when Bret would wake up, he would be lying on the floor or in a completely different room, and he obviously had no idea what that actually meant. And because Bret didn't understand what was going on, when he spoke to his mum on the phone just to have a chat to update him about her life, he told her everything to do with the maid. When he told his mum, she didn't react much at all over the phone, and then after she got off the phone with Bret, she spoke to his father, and they just talked as if nothing had changed. But unbeknownst to Bret and his father, she was secretly plotting her revenge. A month later, without Bret knowing, his aunties banded together to buy his mum a plane ticket to come back to the Philippines. One morning when Bret's dad was out working, Bret was in the kitchen eating some oatmeal, and the maid was also in the kitchen frying up some fish. And then the front door suddenly swung open. It was his mum, and she stormed into the kitchen without even acknowledging Bret, and then she grabbed the maid's hair and started beating her head. The maid grabbed the pan that she was frying fish in to try and use it as a weapon, but she ended up splashing hot oil all over her face and then just dropped the pan on the floor, and all the oil from the pan turned the kitchen into a slip and slide. So then Bret's mom dragged the maid out into the street by her hair. She continued to beat up the maid, and many people from the community had came out of their houses to watch the beatdown take place, and no one interfered because they were all on Bret's mum's side. While it was happening, one of Bret's aunties ushered him away, telling him that he was going to move to America now. Once his dad finally showed up, his mum gave him an ultimatum. It was either her or the maid. His dad chose the maid, and his dad and the maid fled to the mountains to be with her family. But that did not stop his mum. She hired 2 hitmen to throw Molotov cocktails into the maid's house. It didn't kill anyone, but it did burn down 35% of her house. And then they had to go to court to decide who got custody of Bret, because his mum wanted to take him to America. But his dad kept refusing to show up in court, so Bret's mum hired those hitmen again, and they basically knocked him unconscious and then dragged him into the courtroom, and then when he woke up, he was sitting in front of the judge. And yeah, it was ultimately his mum who ended up winning, and then they moved to Hawaii. And then that is where the start of his online journey began. But before getting into that, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Skillshare, because I really wish I had the help of their many very helpful classes at the start of my online journey. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers thousands of classes, and in 2023 they're helping users discover new possibilities outside of their 9-to-5 and fulfillment in creative careers. You've probably heard of Skillshare's classes in photography, film and video editing, and illustration, but they also have a whole bunch of career-focused classes too. I'm sure we can all relate to being overworked at a job that doesn't even fit you to begin with, but if you subscribe to Skillshare, you can design a career to fit you. I personally loved using Skillshare to further explore my creativity in my YouTube videos. Like I said, I wish I could have been on Skillshare at the very start of my online journey, so I really could have hit the ground running, but there is still so much to learn, and there's so many classes on Skillshare specifically for online content creation, so that has all been a very big help. And outside of that kind of stuff, time management is one of the biggest bumps in the road when it comes to trying to get content done. So using Mike D's class, 21 Days of Purposeful Productivity, Forming Habits for Long-Term Goals, was a lifesaver. And most importantly, because of that, I was able to find more time to do things that fulfill me. Skillshare is offering a 1-month free trial to the first 1,000 people who join using the link in the description box. But on top of that, for the month of April only, they are running an even better offer. If you're ready to start learning today with Skillshare, you can get 40% off your first year using my link. I'll be leaving both the links down below so you can choose what the best offer is for you. Okay, so back to the start of Bret's online journey. In Hawaii, Bret was introduced to a lot of new TV shows. He was more drawn to reality shows like A Shot of Love with Tila Tequila and The Bad Girls Club and America's Next Top Model. Watching these shows not only helped him learn English, but it also formed parts of his personality. He would stand in front of a mirror and act out confessionals as if he was on one of these reality shows. He then took that energy and channeled it into his online content. He first started making videos when his mum got a camera phone. He would make short 2-minute videos of him screaming or him pulling faces. And then in 2012, he posted his first video to Facebook of him reading a dirty Valentine's poem to his friends. He kept making those kinds of videos and even started posting them on Snapchat and Instagram. And on those platforms, he was getting tens of thousands of views. And then his views and followers just plateaued. But the thing that caused him to go on another upward swing again was when he posted a video of him dancing to a song by Beyonce, and then his sister interrupts him by walking across the room.
Wait, can you wait? Are you fucking serious?
It went viral and he went from 10,000 followers to 2.5 million followers almost overnight. And then on Instagram, he announced that he would be doing makeup content. He hadn't previously uploaded any videos related to makeup, and he hadn't even worn makeup in any of his videos yet. And it was pretty unheard of at that time for a boy to challenge gender norms like that. So making that sort of announcement caused a little bit of buzz around his name. But what caused the most buzz was when he did upload a makeup tutorial to Instagram. He uploaded a tutorial on how to contour in 16 separate Instagram posts because at that time, Instagram didn't have slides.
So you kind of want to draw a vagina. Princess, are you fucking serious? On your forehead, and just like, now that you have a vagina on your forehead, you want to draw 2 more vaginas underneath your eyes, like so up to there, and drag that down there, and then just, you know. I'm single as so this doesn't have to be too nice. Like, who am I trying to impress?
Nonetheless, it went viral, and then someone compiled all 16 posts into one video and then posted it to Facebook, where it also went viral. After that, he continued to upload makeup content, and his online presence continued to grow. After that, he got a good manager, and loads of good deals came his way, like podcasts, video game collabs, and commercials, and he was being recognized by some pretty high-profile things. In 2017, Time magazine named him as one of 30 most influential teenagers. In 2018, he was on Forbes 30 under 30 marketing, advertising, and media list. And when he was 22, Michelle Obama made him one of the co-chairs to the When We All Vote campaign to help drive voter registration. And he also became the first gay man on the Playboy cover.
They've put a man on the cover of their magazine. I don't know his name, I'm happy to say.
This is how irrelevant they are, that they're looking for something to get them out of the dumpster fire.
They now have a guy on the cover?
That's a guy, huh?
I don't even understand how Playboy works anymore.
And aside from all of that, he also had a host of products and merch. Other than the standard t-shirts and clothing, he also released a bunch of products to do with some of his most viral moments and certain aspects of his personality and brand. He partnered with a card game company to release his version of the What Do You Meme game. In 2019, on his 21st birthday, he rebranded his merch to be around his catchphrase, "The Baddest," instead of his name. His online store was renamed to The Baddest Merch, and he started selling things on there like weed grinders, rolling papers, and lighters to reflect his love for weed. He also released a set of metal straws, which came off the back of one of his most viral moments around saving turtles.
We need to fucking save turtles, because without turtles, we wouldn't have turtles. So
he also did multiple makeup collaborations with brands like Morphe and Colourpop, and his biggest makeup collab was with Wet n Wild. He released a 15 shade eyeshadow palette, a face mist, a mascara, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And the reason why these makeup collaborations were such a big deal to him was because beauty was a big part of his brand at the time, but beauty was a big part of his life long before he could ever profit off it. After his grandma first put it on him, he started putting it on himself. He started wearing it around the house, and he started wearing it to school, and nobody ever made him feel as though he shouldn't have been doing it. And so he continued to do it, and because of how accepted he was in his everyday life, he felt comfortable posting it online as well. From almost the beginning of his online content, makeup played a big part. Despite making a name for himself outside of the beauty community, that is kind of the category that he fell into. Some of his first YouTube videos were makeup tutorials, and it started off with his sister Princess May joining him in these videos, but then it gradually turned into other beauty gurus appearing in his makeup tutorials and makeup content in general. So he really started to make a name for himself in the beauty influencer space. He was then nominated for the People's Choice Beauty Influencer Award in 2018, 2019, and 2020, and he actually won in 2019. He also appeared in James Charles's makeup competition show, Instant Influencer, and while we're on the topic of shows, he also was a contestant on Joey Graceffa's show Escape the Night, and he also got 2 seasons of his own MTV show, when he used to make MTV parody videos.
Hi MTV, I did not see you there. Now I'm gonna show you guys my pool. Come. Hi MTV, come. I did not even see you there. So this is my crib.
But despite doing so well all over the place, there was a little bit of a hurdle when people started calling him out for his use of AAVE, a black scent, and him acting out the angry black woman stereotype. I'm sure you've probably already seen some influencers or celebrities doing it in some capacity.
Kill me, get your ass in here. Come on, girl.
I don't know what you talking about over there. But baby, let me tell you, on this side, we good on this side.
So like, I finna be in the pet.
And Bretman has also been guilty of doing it.
Bitch, I already told you what the fuck is wrong with me. The fuck? Hey, SpongeBob looking at the bitch. I heard you a motherfucker talk shit about me. You wanna... Hey, Tyresha, what's happening? Yes. 3 seconds till I whoop your ass. 1. What do you have to say about this? Waiting a long, periodically time. No, bitch. Hold my poodle. I'm gonna whoop your ass, bitch.
And if that's not clear enough, here are a few more clips showing what I mean.
Motherfucking morning, bitch. The fuck? Bitch, period. Oh my god. Yes. And let's taste this, bitch. Bitch. I bitch.
Before I go any further, I'll just say that this is a very nuanced situation that I won't really be going into in any sort of depth. I'm pretty much just going to be showing both sides and how Bret has evolved from it. But if you were wanting a video that goes through all of the nuances of this situation, a YouTuber by the name of Ibrahim Kamet goes through all of that, so I definitely recommend checking that out. So yeah, Bret hasn't done a whole lot to publicly address this situation. From what I've seen online, people who have called out this kind of behavior, Bret directly reaches out to them to explain and apologize. But he does offer some more information in his memoir, so here's what he said.
What I didn't know growing up was that much of the slang and culture I was picking up while I was growing up, from reality TV show to fashion and music, was black culture, or co-opted from black culture, like much of the language around drag and drag race. So much of who I am, how I think, how I talk, how I see the world, has been shaped by black and queer culture. For a time, I truly didn't know that some of the words and phrases I use most in English were stolen. A lot of black women and black queers support me and cheer me on, and I'm grateful for that. But I also continue to get a lot of call-outs from black people. When the black community does call me out for some reason, it never feels toxic. Since the first call-out, I've continued to educate myself to take the time to soul search, understand the criticism, and try to continue being the best Bretman I can be. I'm gonna continue to say sorry. Now I understand that black queer femmes fought for the fucking rights I have today at Stonewall and throughout history. I'm not saying it was only black queer femmes, but I owe so much of my rights and equal treatment as a gay person of color here to queer black femmes.
And this is what he learned from it.
I'm so glad I've been called out. It made me realize that I also shouldn't be scared to speak out about so many injustices in the world, whether about Black Lives Matter or LGBTQ issues. It freaks me out that I used to be so ignorant of history, and that I used to say and do such offensive things when I was younger, because I never would now. Like, I'm not even saying stuff like that in my head anymore.
Now I want to talk about somebody who was present through all of that and is the person that Bret actually attributes to his internet success. And that is his sister, Princess May.
I feel like I really would not have gotten this far in my career and life without my sister. Because girl, if I didn't slap her in the back of her head dancing to Beyonce, 8 years ago, we would not be here.
After she appeared in the video of Bret slapping her in the back of the head, she made many more appearances, and their dynamic was something that Bret's fans came to know and love. They made mukbangs, Q&As, makeup videos, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And pretty much all of Bret's most viewed videos are videos with Princess in them. So they continued to make videos together, and their energy was something that their fans loved to see. That was until Nikita Dragun entered the picture. Basically, in 2019, beauty influencer Nikita Dragun traveled to Hawaii and did a collab with Bret. They did a video for Bret's channel and a video for Nikita's channel, and Princess was present in both of those videos. Bret is known for having a very harsh but playful relationship with Princess. That's what kind of made their videos super endearing to begin with. It was just a genuine brother-sister relationship. And Nikita tried to be a part of that dynamic, but coming from her, it just came across as very disrespectful.
Fucking cheaters! Bitch, that's not cheating. The last thing that was cheating for you was your last man. I don't know about this man sitting over here, but... I know. But that's why he's got pretty write-offs, everything. Princess, tell me how much money he gave you, and then let's times it by a couple. Bitch, what? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Are you dumb? You go first. The Hawaiian one is like... Mana, haki, Louis, ha! Shut the fuck up. What? Can I just put my own body count? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Princess be like, what? Y'all don't even know. Her fucking body count's gonna be as close to your fucking income, bitch. It did. Actually, no.
That not only brought on a whole bunch of backlash for Nikita, but it also brought on a whole lot of criticism towards Bret for not sticking up for Princess. Princess first responded to some Instagram comments, basically saying that she wasn't sure if that was how Nikita actually acted, and that she was kind of just taken off guard. Bret then edited the bad parts out of his video, but then eventually just deleted the video altogether. And then both Bret and Princess addressed the situation on an Instagram story.
I've already talked to Nikita, and Bretman already talked to me, and you know, they both apologized and they said their sorries and they've realized things, and I'm a very forgiving person. This is my brother, it's always gonna be my brother, this is my family, you know?
Yes, good point. And yeah, I also wanted to apologize to you guys because to be fucking honest and to be fair with you guys, I do genuinely think that I should have defended my sister, but honestly at the time I have no excuse, but I was just caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the only time their relationship became strained. In 2021, they went a number of months without ever communicating.
You know, Bret can hold really long grudges.
Yeah,
We fought before, we didn't talk for 6-8 months.
Yeah.
Princess started to have an issue with Bret because she didn't feel supported by him. Princess has made many attempts to step out of Bret's shadow and make a name for herself, but they pretty much all failed.
She wanted to be a model last season. What'd she do quickly? Nothing.
I subscribe to my channel video every week on my link right now. And also I made a new channel called Loving Us.
Question of the day is,
What are you?
Is it gonna just be, what the fuck is your YouTube channel called? Forever Us?
No, it's actually Real Princess May. Because you'll get the Real Princess May.
Exactly.
Did you say Forever Us, bitch?
What was your like family YouTuber at once upon a time?
The 3 videos that was uploaded,
Yeah.
it was called Loving Us Family.
YouTube is Princess May, and also we will be making a channel for Cleo.
You are?
Yes, bitch, she's entertaining.
Please check out my new video that will be coming up in next week. Depending. Thank you to like 100,000 people that already
They did?
followed. Yes, 100,000 subscribers. Like I was shook.
Like you're already getting everything handed to you and you still don't do shit, you know what I mean?
That's where I just said I'm gonna make a video on Friday, and well, I'm gonna post a video on Friday.
Let's see. How many Fridays do you think Princess will post until she stops posting?
Yes, I have a lot of things that I didn't follow through with.
And she felt as though she had so many failures under her belt because she wasn't being supported by Bret.
The only thing that I really need is your support.
I support you, girl, 100%. When you wanted to start your music career, who's pushing you to sing in our videos? Who's pushing your singing career? Who's telling you to start singing? Me.
But it's easier said than done. Like, I could tell you, like, this is my goal, and if I don't reach it, I'm sorry I didn't reach it, but I told you it's because I didn't have enough support.
And when she addressed this with Bret, he was not happy because he felt as though he had been nothing but supportive to her. He was by her side during all of that. He gave her a big platform to execute a lot of the things that she wanted to do. And he would even pitch her in his own business meetings, trying to get her a leg in the door of some industries she was interested in. So yeah, a fight ensued between the two of them and they didn't talk for a number of months. So during season 2 of Bret's MTV show, a plot point was around them repairing their fractured relationship. They went to therapy both individually and together, and they also did a whole bunch of activities to try and work out how to create a more loving bond. And then when they went back to making videos together, a lot of comments noticed the growth between the two of them. Another moment of growth from Bret was when he decided to distance himself from the beauty community. In an interview with WWD in November 2020, he talked negatively about the beauty community. At that point, the last thing that he had posted in terms of beauty content was a Fenty review with his sister Princess, and that was in August of the same year. And even a year before that, makeup content was few and far between. Pretty much the only piece of makeup content that he posted was to promote his Wet n Wild makeup palette. So yeah, for a while he had already been distancing himself from making beauty content, so really it came as no surprise to a lot of his followers that he was talking so negatively about the beauty industry. And then in the next year, in 2021, he won the MTV award for Breakthrough Social Media Star. So yeah, he was no longer just being considered for the beauty category. And then a month later, he made a TikTok addressing the comments who were accusing him of not wearing makeup anymore and becoming muscular to fit the traditional beauty standards.
Honestly, it's not that I stopped wearing makeup. It's the fact that I stopped doing makeup content. And it's because I don't want to be tied with the beauty community anymore.
And then this year in 2023, his thoughts around the beauty community once again surfaced. He reiterated the same thoughts that he had and emphasized how white people ruined the community.
You know, and I don't know why it got lost in translation when, you know, non-colored individuals were coming in and it just became a money industry and like, it just became an ick to me. Like, when did beauty become so ugly?
And now he is just living his best life with a whole bunch of chickens. And that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I will see you in my next one.